What's poppin', guys? And today is the day, or at least the day of recording. Right now, it's May 20, 2020 at this time. I know all of you guys are really excited to know who won the giveaway. And so, let us give a huge congrats to Gargoyle Garbage for winning this part of the giveaway. Either the $5 gift card to any CubeStar of his choice or the ThunderClap V3M. Please contact me through email, or if you live locally, then through the Facebook page so we can coordinate the prize and have it sent to you. Congrats again, man. Anyways, let's now jump straight into the Q&A. Take note, this is around more than 400 comments, and each comment may have a lot of questions. So I do apologize if I don't get to cover every single comment because there may be a lot of duplicate questions. So let's not waste time and jump right into it. First, we have A Cuber who says, first, congrats bro, you actually have the earliest comment of the video. That's quite nice. Now, our actual first question is from Eli Gabret. Do you expect to hit 1 million subscribers in the future? That may be plausible, like in the case with Mawisha who has more than 1 million subscribers, but in most cases, I don't believe so. Unless you guys get to support even a little bit further. Cartridge Kid asks, who was your biggest inspiration to start YouTube? I can't say that there was one specific person that inspired me, but rather it's more of the entire community as a collective. As a fan of YouTube who watches YouTube videos on a daily basis, I actually tried YouTube a couple of times before, not related to cubing, but it didn't really take off. But being a cuber in the cubing community and being able to douse myself in all of this cubing content, it kind of made me want to also take part of it by making cubing videos. And so that's how I basically started as a YouTuber. Vanch Agarwal asks, how long have you been cubing and what's your PB? I started cubing in the tail end of 2016 and took a hiatus from mid 2017 to early 2018. So basically around 3 to 4 years if I'm not mistaken. And my PB, if you're referring to 3x3, is 5.69 seconds, which I made a breakdown of in a previous video. Oh wait, all your PBs. Okay, I'll try to get this straight, but only for singles. 2x2 is sub 2, I don't really care much about it until I get a sub 1. 3x3 is once again 5.69, 4x4 is 35.799, 5x5 is 112.072, 6x6 is 242.31. I got sub 4 in 7x7, but I can't fully remember the time. Pira's around a 3-second solve. I also lost track of my skew PB, so I can't mention that. Square 1 was around sub 9, Mega is a 105, Clock is 19.05, 3 blind is a 102.999, 4 blind is a 2152.809, 5 blind was a 4329.027, Multi blind was a 1014 in 13420.78, OH was around sub
14,
so 13, lost track of feet, so probably either sub 4 or sub 3 minutes, and I have not attempted FMC full-fledged. So that's my list of PBs so far, I guess. TRF Cuber asks, what is your main and how do you set up your main? I currently am hovering between the Weilong WRM and the Vault Elite, and my preferred setup is mainly Traxxas 50k with a bit of Candy Cane Cubicle Labs Mystic and a little bit of X-Cuber's Haste X. And also maybe just a little bit of X-Core Gray as well. But to set up a cube, one of the most important things is to hit all the contact points of the cube, all the pieces of plastic touching each other, and even still the hardware. So basically just place it all around the cube wherever it can touch each other. But Mystic belongs to the tracks, and just plainly that. Hopefully I could be able to make a setup tutorial video soon, so stay tuned for that as well. From Vanch Agarwal once again, name all the WCA events without any help. Go! 2x2, 3x3, 3x3 one-handed, 3x3 blindfolded, 3x3 fewest moves challenge, 4x4, 4x4 blindfolded, 5x5, 5x5 blindfolded, 6x6, 7x7, Pyraminx, Cube, Square 1, Megaminx, Clock, and also Multi-Blind. That's quite fun. Alright, a cuber came back with a question because I'm reading this in chronological order. How is your video quality so good? Okay, to be honest, that's the same question I ask myself. How is it supposed to be that good when there's a lot of other YouTubers with higher quality than I do, but maybe at least mine could be just quite decent. But to improve video quality to make it better than average, I guess you might need to choose the right camera, but currently I use a phone to shoot. But in case, you can also use a camera, especially audio is also one of the important aspects. So I'm recording this with a Boya BY-MM1 and also lighting, which I've shown in a previous video in the 100 subscriber special. And also editing is one big thing, and it takes a lot of experience and practice. So even if you start out, don't be afraid that your quality isn't that good. It'll just develop over time. I've been doing this for a year and there's still a lot that I still have to learn. So basically that around quality. Reginald Agregado asks, do you plan on going to other comps like in other countries? At this current moment, I'm not able to participate in comps that are way too far out of town, so it's definitely much harder, though I wish I had the time and the funds for it, but a bit more or less likely. AMG Cube asks, how did you start cubing? Well, in 2016 and around that time, cubing was a really big school fad, especially some of my other classmates, batchmates, and schoolmates just came from China tour, and that's basically how we got to join in at some point. But right now, that fad's already long gone, and us cubers in school, we're really a very selective few now. Walalslal Kakax Kakunoob asks, how did you and Nathan the Cuber start Simply Cube? Are you the owner of Simply Cube? Well, I do remember that afternoon when I was getting my glasses fixed, and Nathan just shot me up a DM if we can start a cube shop together, and I said yes, and everything, the rest of them is history. But am I the owner of Simply Cube? I think you already know the answer to that. Memphis Rain Manalo asks, what made you do cubing rather than any hobby? Out of any other hobby, I found cubing a lot more fun, and it's been one of the greatest privileges and responsibilities I've ever had since being very involved with the community. But most importantly, the friends and family that I've found here in cubing is definitely much more than anywhere else. So once you get reeled in, it's much harder to get out of. John Mar asks, what is the best cubing moments you ever had? Well, I have to say, there are a lot of best moments for me. Like, there's a monstrous amount, whether it may be memorable or really something that really took me by surprise. And I'll just name a few. Getting my first sub 30 3x3 single at school, in which I was running around the halls screaming. Going to a cube workshop not too far out of town, and I got to meet a lot of other cubers and having these interactions for the first time. Going to my first comp where I made more friends and got my 2.2 PB single for 2x2. Going to PhilChamps 2018 and meeting Leo Borromeo for the first time, which was super awesome. Starting this YouTube channel, getting my first blind successes, 3 blind and 4 blind on cam, and 5 blind also at school, which had a bigger reaction than my first sub 30 3x3 single. Going to Luzon Champs and meeting more friends, and actually basically any comp. Getting my first official sub 10 for 3x3 at PhilChamps 2019. Witnessing the 3x3 finals of Marikina City Open 2 2019, especially with Brenton's NR single and Sean's ASR average. Making finals for the first time and almost podiuming at Square 1 head-to-head finals at Parity at Shires 2020, and basically much more, that if I would count every single one of them, then I'd rather be growing gray hairs. Christian Angela Moica asks, how did you learn how to solve the Rubik's Cube? I actually learned it from youcandothecube.com, where I saved the PDF, and that's where I learned the first algorithms and basically the steps and the method how to solve the 3x3. Random Panda asks, how old are you? Around 4 squared years old, so around 16. Joanna Gaeto asks, why did you start YouTube? As mentioned previously, I was really interested in much of this cubing content and also wanted to be part of the community. So that's why I made this channel and started YouTube. Sean asks, what or who inspired you to do YouTube? What is your greatest cubing achievement by far? What is your favorite cube? What does it feel like to solve the 10x10 in 14 minutes? What would you want to add to the WCA events? How do you make your vids so good? How to be Yupo? What is your favorite song? Who is your favorite YouTuber? Can I have a shout out? JK. What is your first sweet cube? What instrument do you play? What do you average in square one? What is your Megamix PB? Would you make YouTube as a career? Which do you prefer if price wasn't an issue? 17x17, 15x15, 13x13, or 12x12? Would you try to get faster in 2x2? Is studying hard? Would you get the Tengi V2? What's your main for 6x6? Well, I might edit this so more questions to come. Some of them are weird. Well, this is quite a handful to answer. I've already answered some in the previous one, so you can just backread a little bit, but I'll try to answer the unanswered ones. This will also apply for all the other questions asked. For greatest cubing achievement, you can consider either officially or unofficially. If it's officially, it's getting 4th place in squad finals at Paradia Charis, and unofficially, it's more likely to be either my first 5-blind success on first try, or the 3x3 multi-blind with 10 out of 14 cubes solved. For a favorite cube, in terms of WCA, then probably the Wailang Worm or the Vault Elite. And for non-WCA, of course, the Milong 10x10. To solve the 10x10 in 14 minutes, I don't even have a sub 20, so I don't know what it feels like. You might want to ask Jeremy Smith about it instead. Adding to WCA events, definitely add feedback please. To be me, you just gotta be yourself. Because one of the things that I believe is trying to copy someone is not as good as either being yourself and better than someone. I don't have a favorite song either because my preferences just change very wildly. I don't even have a favorite YouTuber specifically because there's a lot of good channels out there and I really can't decide at all. Also shout out to Sean, he is super fast in events such as 3x3, Megamix, Square 1, etc. He's really good. My first P-Cube on the other hand is the YG Yulong V1 and up to this day, it's still performing quite well. I just need to either set it up, magnetize, or do both. I play the violin, but right now, I really need to get back to practicing sometime. My squad average is either sub 20 or not sub 20. I can't be that specific because my consistency is really trash. Megamix PB is a 105, as mentioned previously for single. For career-wise, maybe for now, but not full-time. If price wasn't an issue, of course, 17x17. It's the biggest monstrosity out of the choices. For 2x2, I might not have the grit or the grind to get faster to, so that answers that. Studying is relative because in some subjects it's easy and for some it's hard, so it varies per subject. For Tengi V2, of course, I'm already getting it soon, I just need to wait for it to arrive. I also made the Ausher GTS M 6x6. I'm not really sure when I'm gonna get the MGC though. Moving on to Prince Asher, Speed Cuber. He asks, what is your favorite WC events? When did you start in Cubic and how old are you? My favorite WC events so far are 3x3 Square 1 Mega and blind events and big cubes as well. I started cubing again in tail end of 2016 and 16 years old. Joka asks, when you started making vids, did you have really much cubes and did you start making vids as a rookie? At that point when I started my channel, I had just a modest collection, but to some it might be sizable, but not as much as today. And as a rookie, definitely yes, because in some events I was averaging decently, but in many other events I really wasn't good at. Some not so much and some not at all. Opie asks, do you love me too? Yes, I love you as a brother, so you can take that into heart. But how did SimplyCube start? In general, as mentioned by Walalska, never mind. As previously mentioned, Nathan hit me up with a DM if we can start the Cube store, and after saying yes, the rest is history. I can't reveal the specific details right now, but maybe sometime in the future. Roy Bacalso asks, why do you love cubing? Finding that road to improvement and aiming it is very, very satisfying, and cubing just fits in that spot exactly, as there's a lot of events you can improve on and many more to learn. But on top of that, the friends and the families that you make when you are cubing is definitely what is most precious. Cube for Fun asks, who is your favorite speed cuber? These types of questions, to be honest, are extremely hard, and all I can say is I can't have a favorite because number one, there's a lot of events to choose from, and there are many cubers as well, and if I were to choose one, it would be much biased towards and against other cubers. So because there's a lot of speed cubers that I admire, and I really can't have one over the other. There's really just too much to admire. Anyways, that was just it for this Q&A, and I know it's just a very, very small portion of the rest of the questions that I have to answer. So hopefully those will be upcoming in future Q&As. I also do apologize for not being able to upload and be that active either. I know it's quite ironic at some point in this Q&A, but so far I've been quite busy and almost hit a slump lately while trying to get this video out, because there's a lot of stuff that I've been trying to do, especially with online classes and college entrance test preparation, and so that kind of took me off the road. But I'm quite glad that I've still been able to get this one out for you guys, especially that it's been quite a long time. But still, I'd like to thank you so much for sticking around and for your support through these not the best of times, but really I really do appreciate it. And so once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and also congrats again to Gargle Garbage. I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Keep popping, guys. Peace.